Bangers and hash.
Welcome back to the couch, potatoes. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh. From Gorsh. There's plenty of room. Thanks for joining us. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. This is a slightly different show, but I am the Faceless Leon, and this is Bangers and Hash Season 2, and this is a Patreon exclusive show, so thank you for your support, patrons, right up front. Today, and hopefully for now on in the future of Bangers and Hash, we will have a guest to be our judge. And today we have returning to our little venue, I guess, our couch. It is Professor Ronvald the Scald. Thanks for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. This couch is very long, very spacious, and an acceptable amount of sticky.
Yeah.
But thank you.
That's me.
Spreads across 2 states.
Thank you for having me. Just wanted to give a cute little shout out to my partners. Surrey is fantastic, and I'm ready to behave now.
We're very excited to meet them, this being me and my partner. I believe Greg's met them. Haven't you?
No, I haven't. Every single time that we have supposed to have met, something has come up that we have not met. So, Surrey, if you're listening, how dare you?
Well, this is, if you were not aware, Ronvald, a game show that we made up on accident one day. And what we're going to do is we're each going to pitch, taking turns, shows or movies that we have watched recently. And we have 4 minutes to do so. Speaking of, I did forget my egg timer. I will go grab that in a moment.
My goodness.
But
you know what?
It's unforgivable, I know,
You know what? As long as the check clears, I'm ready to play anything.
So we pitched
yes,
these
it's in the
shows
mail, don't
to
worry.
You. Yeah, it's definitely in the mail. We pitch these shows to you, and then you are going to say if you mash it or pass it. Mashing it being that you mash the button to press play and watch it while you're on the couch.
Yeah. And also a potato pun because
and a potato pun
potatoes.
Because we
it's a
do
thing
that here.
It's utterly delightful. This is great.
We took it through marketing. They okayed it. HR said it was fine and politically correct. So
you know HR?
Yeah,
I love HR.
I love HR too. They're so nice.
Herbie
but they never
Morrison?
seem to get anything done. So,
Ooh.
So, we're going to go ahead and get started after I get that egg timer. But whoever wins, whoever gets the highest score out of the two of us, well,
gets
they're
a
the
big
winner
old kiss?
until... Yeah, a big old kiss from you.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
We get a little special something from the judge. You get to bribe us.
If that's the case, I'll be right back. You guys can do something.
Okay, he's such a good host.
We'll be so calm and quiet. We won't do anything, so you can delete it all. All right, Ken. While he's gone,
sorry.
What's your price? How much do I have to? What you thinking here?
I remember, like, when I started voice acting, I always told people if they wanted my service, either as a voice actor or as a wedding officiant, it's $20 and a Chinese buffet.
You got it. I can give you that. All you got to do is vote for my stuff over the Faceless Leon's. Oh, he's in the room. Hello. Hello.
Nothing
I'll take you
happened.
to your China
Egg beater
buffet.
you got there. Egg timer.
Yes, it is R2D2 shaped. Which
We
is
can't say that. That's copyright. Don't sue us, Disney.
It is droid. I mean, damn it. Robot shaped. And
celluloid droid from a non-specific sci-fi fantasy space opera.
It's
it is
an
also
astromech from Light Fight.
That's right. This is my favorite character from Light Fight. So it is also the most inaccurate egg timer that I have, but I couldn't find the other one. So that's how that goes. This,
as long as it's
showbiz.
Inaccurate in my favor.
So another thing that we usually do is just roll to see who goes first, since we're the only two.
A D6.
A D6.
No cheating.
All right, I got
faceless.
All right. You know, you're the only one who has suggested any sort of cheating so far. I just want to say.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's been deleted.
All right, I rolled it. I got a 6.
You fuck! I got a 5. Damn it!
All right, I get to
I
go
was like,
first.
oh, such a good roll.
This is a great show.
4 minutes on the clock for you.
4 minutes. All right, Ronvald. Do you like ghosts? I bet you do.
Yeah.
So, imagine you're in a high school and you die, and there's all these ghosts. And, you know, the ghosts aren't, like, scary or anything. They're just ghosts. And, well, that's how it is at Split River High, which is the location of school spirits. Now, this stars Peyton List as Maddie Nears, and she just died, apparently. She does not remember her death, and she is trying to solve her murder while at the same time the ghosts are trying to get her to accept that she's fucking dead. And there's not much she's going to be able to do about it. But then, all of a sudden, she realizes that her friend, Simon Elroy, played by Christian Flores, can see and speak to her somehow, but only sometimes. So, through that, they start being able to, figure out what's going on. You know, they keep on leading down the wrong avenues. They accuse a lot of people. And one of their teachers gets involved, and you find out that he was secretly a drug dealer and all sorts of different things. But he was also Maddie's favorite teacher. So, like, the whole show, they come apart. They tear apart people that Maddie loves by trying to figure out what's wrong with her. And the conflict is really interesting. While also some of the antics from the ghosts being hilarious. For example, there's one guy named Wally Clark, and he's a 80s football star, and he died by getting crunched at the 1 yard line. but he is like the most free soul ever, and I love him. He's very sweet, though. Like, so there's this. So he wants to have a movie night, and he always suggests, sports movies, and another character's like, no, let's do something different. And he's like, you like Rudy. And he's like, no, I've never liked Rudy. And he looked so hurt, just so fucking hurt. And I'm not sure that this timer it works right, but I'm gonna keep on going.
You're only at 2.5.
I'm only at 2.5. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, on my end here.
That person that I was talking about was Charlie, played by Nick Pugliese. Pugliese. I don't know how to say his name.
The rest of the time.
And he is he's a queer gentleman that passed away also not too much later after Wally did, and his ex-lover from that period who he had a fight with right before he died. And what happened was really silly. Well, not silly. It was horrible. He ate peanut oil from the cafeteria because one day they decided, oh, we're out of oil, we'll fry the french fries in peanut oil, and it killed him. And yeah, that's how Charlie got there. But he was sad about this. Okay, that's my time.
Damn.
So, what do you think about School Spirits?
I don't know. I watched Monster High.
Is that what it's called, first of all?
What?
Is it called School Spirits?
Yeah, it's called School Spirits.
Is that its name? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is one hilarious pun name. I dig that.
Yeah.
I watched Monster High, and that has ghosts, werewolves, and Medusas. So I feel like it's not pulling its weight. On the other hand, I love anything that is weirdly supernatural without it being the focus of it.
Okay.
Because it's just like, yeah, everybody, welcome to school. You're dead, but you'll have fun here.
You'll learn to love it.
No, I dig
and then hate it.
Okay,
and then
so
love it again.
would you say that you give it a mash or a pass?
You're gonna mash that? Yeah.
Don't say it like that. I don't want to get horny on the air. I mean,
you're gonna mash some school spirits.
I mean, mash. I'd mash school spirits. Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
So now I get to tell you. Now I get to tell you how I really felt about it. So,
oh yeah,
I think it was actually quite fun. I thought that it was enjoyable. It is live action. That's one thing I didn't say.
No, I laugh because you two of all people would be like, we have to clarify to him that it's live action.
It's not anime, kid.
All he watches is anime and reruns of Bob's Burgers.
I will be honest though, I thought it was animated. Like when the way you were describing it, I thought it was an animated show.
I realized that it felt like when you mentioned Monster High, I was like, oh, they think this is like a kid's show, but it's not.
Well,
not that animation, infers kids show, because that's half of what I watch too. So
right, but back in 2004. We all willingly watched Danny Phantom, where a kid canonically is split between death and reality.
Right. Yeah, and it was awesome.
I mean, yeah, it was great.
Maybe low-key had a crush on him. And the ghost form, though, not as a human.
Not as a human. He was kind of a dick, honestly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do like this show quite a bit. I give it a full face. If you don't remember my... face system. A face is a competent series or movie. A face and a half means I really liked it.
Faceless Leone judges things since he has no face. If they're great, he judges them by giving them more faces.
That's right. Exactly.
Because he never had one.
I never got to have one, so and obviously it's greater than I am. So it gets...
Oh, you put yourself down.
I am.
Putting yourself down.
I just like the idea of Faceless Leone's birth, and they're just like, well, somehow this is a perfectly functioning baby, but they don't have a face.
Well, I appreciate that you think that I have parents, but it is established that I was created in the lab.
Yeah, that is
true.
My
goodness.
Yeah, I got a papa.
Papa, and I guess Mama is the tube.
Mama was the tube.
Oh my goodness!
That makes it the Green Traveler's turn.
It does indeed wind up your little non-specific droid toy.
Yeah, non-specific droid toy egg timer is about to be wound up. Are you ready, Professor Ronvald?
I am. Twitter pated to start.
Yes.
As you should be.
You have 4 minutes.
Hell yeah, because I have a little bit of Jesus Christ for you. Way back in the days of Jesus Christ, there was a little known man named Clarence who was watching on as Jesus was doing his shtick and routine. And Clarence, who is actually the younger brother of Thomas, the twin brother of Thomas. Thomas, one of the apostles, of course, if you know your Bible. But Clarence was one of, he was always on the outside. He wasn't part of the apostles. He was just watching Jesus doing his thing. And Clarence thought, I can do that too. He's in deep with the loan sharks, Clarence is. And he's like, I can make some money by doing some prophecies. And me and my boys, we can get rich. And that's what he starts to do. He gets his gang together, and they start performing miracles throughout all of the lands. And And he slowly starts paying, slowly starts amassing money to pay off his debts. And Clarence is played amazingly by Lakeith Stanfield. Yep. This is a movie by The Bullets, or James Samuel. If you've ever seen, there's this beautiful Western film called The Harder They Fall. Very fun. Idris Elba and Jonathan Majors. It's really great. But James Samuel is back with his second movie here, The Book of Clarence. Very enjoyable biblical comedy drama that also has, I gotta mention, what's the guy who does Pontius Pilate? He's played by James McAvoy, which is hilarious. Nice. Like, he does a fun job as Pontius Pilate. I think that's who he plays. He plays that kind of a character, that role, at least.
It's Clarence's Pontius Pilate, anyways.
Yeah. But Lakeith Stanfield also plays his twin brother Thomas, which is phenomenal. It's really great watching him perform with himself. Thomas is a very good goody two shoes kind of brother, and Clarence is always kind of hated him for that. Hated him for his pompousness. And the antics they get into are great. It's like they do the raise the dead thing where one of his friends pretends to be dead, and Clarence goes up there and touches him, and his friend wakes up, and they run around and collect all the money from everybody like, hell yeah, we perform miracles, we're cool and shit. But the only problem is, of course, it's that kind of a time period where that kind of thing's frowned upon, and messiahs were being rounded up and killed. And Clarence, declaring himself as one of the messiahs, with a loan shark on his back, no less, kind of sets himself up to be an easy target for that. So it's very fun to watch the drama unfold as he tries to, come clean. Financially, spiritually, emotionally, everything. Like, he's got to come out of this okay. It's really, really interesting. How much time do I got left there?
You got a little less than a minute.
Fabulous!
Getting closer to 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's very comedic. There's a lot of good comedy that happens. David Oyelowo, who played Martin Luther King in Selma, he plays John the Baptist in this. He doesn't want to baptize Clarence because Clarence hasn't. He doesn't believe in a God. Clarence doesn't. He's not a righteous, noble individual, and so John the Baptist is like, no, I'm not going to do this.
No more about John the Baptist. No more prolificizing.
So, Lakeith Stanfield. I have a weird crush on that man.
Everybody should.
Oh my God, he is just very attractive to me.
He's got some shirtless portions in this movie, if that helps.
As he should. God, I don't want to objectify the man.
It's okay, we do it all the time. I do it, at least.
But I wanted to earn my professor title, at least on this run of me coming back. It's always... One, I love this time period because to give a weird context to everyone, the Roman gods were still being worshipped at this time.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's one of the main reasons people were pissed at Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's also, as weird as this sounds, it's like why Judaism was just frowned upon in general at this time period. Imagine... For the length of the Roman Empire at this time, everyone's like, yes, praise the gods. And somebody went, that was a little too long. praise God. And they went,
let's cut out 15 of those.
And they're like, now he's going to look like Zeus. We're going to copy paste that. That one's great. But just the one guy.
Yahweh,
but I mean, the real...
apparently was originally... a storm god, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, like, primal early deities make so much sense to me. Because the sun, all the scary noises in the world stop because now I could see everything. I understand the sun god. I understand the lightning god.
I'm thinking there was a massive war among the gods. and the Christian God is the one that came out on top, and he's just like, I'm the only one who ever existed, spread the word. And then it's kind of like American Gods, Neil Gaiman style, but
I see.
Well, heck, in
You're
that
a
vein, yes,
I am a Gaimanist.
I will say that book changed how I viewed religion.
Oh yeah, same.
I feel everyone's correct anyways. You believe what you believe, and I believe in it too. Every god is real because people will their gods to be real.
Yeah.
At least that's one theory of mine. I'm also of the mindset, like, to me, the gods are real. And I love the theory that Ragnarok happened, and the god everyone's worshiping now is just Loki, who made it all up. I mean, I like that theory a lot, but I prefer Gaiman's version a lot. Now, I have seen trailers for Clarence.
Yes.
And I was already a big fan of The Life of Brian.
Nice.
So, any movie that's just like, what if we had a well-meaning but worse Jesus as our protagonist?
Yes.
Clarence doesn't seem that well-meaning.
No.
No, not well-meaning at all, but, at his heart.
But he's played by Lakeith Stanfield, so I trust him implicitly.
Yeah.
As he should. As everybody does in the movie.
But this has to be a mash.
Nice. Yes.
Lakeith Stanfield's great. I've only seen him in Haunted Mansion so far, so I've really wanted to take a look at this.
Yeah. Haunted Mansion is not his shining element. He was great in it.
I mean, he was like my favorite part of it. But I do
same.
get where you're coming from. Is clearly he's been in more things than I've seen.
Yeah.
Check out The Harder They Fall, which is the James Samuel's first film here, because it's really fun.
Yeah.
Lakeith's in that as well, and so is R.J. Seiler, who's in this. He plays Clarence's like right hand man, best friend guy, which is very fun in this.
Listen, I can't pass judgment on that movie. It's not part of the game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Thanks for keeping us on track.
Yeah. My personal thoughts on the Book of Clarence. It's fine. It's all right. It is. Yeah, I kind of played you a tiny bit. It has a big issue with tone, because it is very funny and very enjoyable. But then at the same time, there's crucifixions. There's the trauma of that Roman era there. Like it tries to say so much, and it does a really good job at it. But it's really hard to balance the comedy and the drama, and it doesn't seem like this movie really did a great job at that. It's still very worth watching. Like, I still give it 3 out of 5 stars. Like, it is enjoyable. All black cast. Well, not all black cast. There's obviously James McAvoy's in it. Benedict Cumberbatch has a small part in it as well, which is great because I didn't realize it was Benedict Cumberbatch until the very end. Nice. He plays like this beggar on the streets, and there's this moment where they like clean the beggar up, and then I was like, holy fuck, that's Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, I was just like, what? I didn't know he was in this. But like, it was really interesting. And but no, really, Lakeith Stanfield is what carries the entire movie because he's very fun in both Clarence and Thomas roles. It's really good, but the big issue is just the tone. It can be weirdly a bummer at times when it's trying to be funny.
You know, I could definitely like see where you're coming from, because some of the best movies to me are the ones that make you feel everything. Yeah. And to balance tragedy and comedy, because like you said, the trauma of the crucifixion, that is a hell of a way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and they have their own passion scene. Like,
supposedly
this movie,
supposedly, he was pretty fucking far gone by the time they put him up there. But in general, you could be up there for 3 days.
Yeah.
It's
so the whole practice of crucifixion was made worse for Jesus.
Yeah.
because I didn't want to just minimize Jesus's contributions or thing to he was different than the Roman gods. It was, in the words of Aziraphale, he told them to be kind. And a lot of people really liked that. And that was changing the status quo. But they're like, hey, we're going to make you carry your cross.
Is this the Aziraphale from Lucifer?
Oh, Aziraphale from Good Omens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's who I thought you were talking about, yeah.
Oh, my God.
The best version of Aziraphale.
But
I do remember that now. Okay.
I think some people were stoning Jesus. And the imagery of the crown of thorns, I don't know, because to me it kind of only clicked a while ago, where that's a torture too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as he's sweating, that's slipping, falling, cutting him. And then they drive the nails through his hands.
Yeah, feet.
And his feet, not even just like foot. It was through the legs and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they stabbed him.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
That's the main reason he didn't live through the night, because they pierced him with the spear because they didn't want to make sure. They wanted him to not live through the night, basically. So they were just pierce him with the spear.
And they supposedly, by what the book says, he was already dead anyways.
In some texts.
Water. Yeah, in some texts. So, let's do one more pitch, and then we'll take a break.
Yes.
So, speaking about things being real, I'll do the timer first.
Oh.
I got 4 minutes.
Yeah, trying to get in some extra time there.
Speaking of things being real, Anthony Mackie and his family have a ghost. This movie is called We Have a Ghost.
It's another ghost.
Yes! Yes, it is.
It's January.
I just watched this last night. So,
which is a haunting time for Blake.
David Harbour, Stranger Things, David Harbour as Ernest, the ghost. Harbor? Whatever.
Harbor.
Ernest, the ghost, who at first gets caught on film by Anthony Mackie's character as kid. Now, Anthony Mackie is playing Frank Presley, and his kid, Kevin, I guess, he sees the ghost and catches him on film, and he's like doing like, and it's ridiculous, and Kevin's not afraid at all, and is just laughing and filming it, and David, being Ernest, just looks so sad. And he goes back away, and he's like, no, hold on a second. And they start talking, and they become friends and whatever. But the ghost can't talk, and he's very shy. So his dad finds out about this by finding the video somehow. And he's like, why didn't you tell me about this? And then he has the kid send him the video, and he puts it up on YouTube with his other son, Fulton, and it starts getting some buzz, and people are like, hey, this either is like really fake or really real. And the more videos they put up, the more buzz it gets, and eventually they get on Dr. Phil, and they also have Jennifer Coolidge come over, who's playing a medium.
Wow.
Judy Romano. Anyhow, Judy Romano comes over, and she is, she's just a fake, psychic, whatever. And then Ernest comes out, and Kevin convinced him, because he was pissed off at his dad, who's kind of an asshole, to try to be as scary as possible, and even showed Ernest some horror movies to give him inspiration. And he so he does like a Beetlejuice scene and stuff, and she just like Jennifer Coolidge just runs and jumps out the window. And that was great. And so they start getting in a little bit of trouble because the feds decide to reawaken an old CIA branch or task force called Wizard Clip. And what Wizard Clip was a task force to go after ghosts, and their sole purpose was to capture a ghost. And it had been shut down because they're like, this is pseudoscience, whatever. Well, now there's the ghost on the news. So, what was her fucking name? Dr. Leslie Monroe, played by Tig Notaro.
Ooh, Tig Notaro's awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
And that's it.
All right. So, before I pass judgment on any of this, I still... there's this rumor, I think she got cast in the Minecraft movie. And Jennifer Coolidge got cast in it. And everyone's immediate thought is there's this group of people in the game called villagers. And they go, and so everyone's immediate, you're ahead of me on this, everyone's immediate response is, what if Jennifer Coolidge is the villagers? And like one of them gets hit by something and they just go,
That would be pretty great. I would be really happy to hear that a studio paid Jennifer Coolidge to just go.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I'm assuming Chris Pratt is going to be playing Steve. He plays everybody.
I actually can't remember who they got or if they do have it.
Ben Schwartz?
Dude, I would love that. That would be great.
Chris Pratt's Garfield now.
Whoa, they got... Okay, this is actually looking pretty decent. We got Jack Black as Steve.
That's
right. Jason Momoa has been cast. It's got Emma Myers, who I think is the blonde girl in Wednesday. Yes, she's in Wednesday. Enid Sinclair.
Yeah.
And then also Jennifer Coolidge, of course, and Kate McKinnon. And Jermaine Clement.
Oh, nice. Shit. All right, now I do want to watch this movie. How did I get interested in Minecraft all of a sudden? I have never been that into it.
Apparently, Matt Berry is also tapped to be in it.
Matt?
Well, I have to see it for Matt.
Right.
Matt Berry is one of the most seductive voices on the planet. Yes!
Hell yes.
Oh my gosh, she's just so fun. Yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango.
Well.
Did you mash it? Or did you mash?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't think we'd let you do that.
Yeah, my ADD immediately derailed the game.
That's what happens on this show.
Yeah.
Trust me. Blake and I, 90% is about something else and 10% is about whatever we're supposed to be talking about.
Nice. No, by the sounds of it, as cool as this sounds, I bet it was executed poorly.
You can't give any hints, Blake.
I think I'll have... You know what? I'll pass. Because as much as I also love David Harbour has the worst luck with his movies sometimes.
Yeah, he chooses some awful stuff.
Because Hellboy, without Ron Perlman, didn't sound great to me.
Right.
Yeah,
because Ron Perlman's amazing. But then they put David Harbour as Hellboy, and I went, this should be fine.
Yeah.
And then I heard nothing but awful crap about the movie.
Yeah, it was forgettable.
I thought if anybody saw it was you, and you didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it. I've read the Hellboy comics and everything.
Yeah.
I got nerd cred on this.
Hell yeah.
And there is dumber, cooler stuff you can do from Hellboy. Like the monkey with a gun.
Yeah.
The drinking contest with skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff's great. I will actually say pass on this.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's fair. I do give it a full face. It's a little bit more than competent. I at the end really actually enjoyed it, but there is a big dip in the middle that is not that fun. And really, Anthony Mackie's character is such an asshole, like to his own kids. And there is a redemption arc, and he, is better has this monologue that almost makes it all better.
Do they ever call him Captain?
No, they don't. They call him Frank.
Someone just kind of slowly passes him on the sidewalk, and you just hear, on your left. How dare you!
Flashbacks.
Starts flapping his wings like he's the Falcon.
I will say that the actual mystery around Ernest is quite interesting. Kevin and his friend, I think it's Erica Ash playing. No, I'm sorry. I'm never gonna find this human. Okay, Isabella Russo as Joy Yoshino. She becomes Kevin's love interest, which that part wasn't necessary, but they're good friends, and they start investigating why Ernest is there, because Ernest doesn't remember anything. So all that was really interesting. But there's just like the YouTube popularity and stuff. Like, I think the concept was good, but it just dragged on a little bit.
I will also say, well, thank you for that. Honestly, it does still sound worth checking out. But what also didn't help is the ghost name is Ernest.
Yeah.
And all I could think is Ernest goes to Hollywood or Ernest gets a job. And all I'm picturing is that actor.
Dude,
Jim Varney, come on.
We used to watch Ernest Goes to Jail a lot. And there's sex in that movie.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Let us take a quick soda pop break. Keep recording, Ken. Don't do anything. But we will be going. We'll be right back.
We'll be right
Who's
back.
Ken?
I met Professor Ronvold the Scold.
Refresh your drinks. Talk to your spouses. Whatever.
I love you.
I read it on Breitbart, so you know it's true.
No.
There we go. Immediately politicizing this conversation.
Well,
demonetized.
Are we back?
We've been back. What are you talking about? I'm keeping everything in. I might cut that thing about your mother.
Okay.
Listen, I am a teacher. We cannot be back yet.
I'll cut tiddly bits of every conversation out. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll keep it safe for the kids.
For Ken's sake, we're back right now. Welcome back.
Exactly.
Gasp.
You haven't missed anything.
I haven't missed anything.
Nothing happened. We didn't have
How you feeling?
a shared cry.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
How you doing,
okay.
Ken?
We
How you
can
doing?
admit we had a
How
couple
you doing,
tears.
Ron Vold?
Yeah, Ron.
I'm gonna put bleeps over
How you
every
doing?
single time I say. Everybody thinks I'm just calling you bad names the whole time.
As long as we don't rhyme your first name, it'll be fine.
All right. Can't believe you two. This is a terrible production.
We're not professional whatsoever. We're surprised you came back.
I can't believe there's no crew. No one's asked me for a lemon water.
No, it's just a semen-stained couch.
Hey, that's not what it is. I said it was me, not semen. God.
Hey, well, that's fair.
Listen.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is on record that I do not secrete, so...
Yeah.
But... remember, you still have your Bill of Rights. Those seamen don't have to be allowed into your home.
I don't have
They
right.
can't seek harbor.
You're right. But
I'm not technically considered part of this country.
No, you're not. It's because you're different.
No. I illegally landed my ship here. And then they put me at a facility for years, which is where we met, me and Faces.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just happy you all keep calling me professor, even though I was a wandering vagrant.
Pulled you out the street. You look good, though, in your suit and tie and everything. Like,
yeah.
I don't know
Thank
who you pulled those
You
off
cleaned
of,
up nice. Yeah.
You'll never find them.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know, actually. In case we need to get rid of somebody, we know just the person to call.
I'll make sure the police find it as a smiley face. I mean... And we're back!
Hey! Part 2!
How exciting that nothing
so we got
criminally damning happened.
3 more pitches for you, Ronvald. So, are you ready? Are you both
it's
ready?
the Green Traveler's turn,
That's
yes?
right.
I am ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You have 4 minutes.
Promotion. Ronvald, do you like Marvel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Not a lot lately, but sure.
Very fair. I understand. But if there was a lot more of inclusivity, would you enjoy it?
Yes, I would love Disney to stop being cowards.
Fabulous. I'm going to talk to you about Echo. Did you watch the Hawkeye show by chance, actually?
So, I know one connection you're about to make with it.
Yes.
And that is that Vincent D'Onofrio is still the Kingpin.
Yes, that.
Because that's all I care about.
Very fair. Very fair. As long as you know that, we're golden, because that's one thing that carries over from Hawkeye. Another thing is Echo herself. Alaqua Cox is a Native American Choctaw. She is deaf, she is amputee, and she's missing one of her legs. And she is Echo. She plays this character named Maya Lopez, who is also a deaf Native American. I don't know if the character in the comics is missing a leg or not, but they beautifully figured out how to do many different like MMA style fight scenes with Alaqua Cox and utilizing her prosthetic in all the fights. It's really cool. Good stuff. The stunt work is just as good as the Daredevil show from Netflix. And yes, if you've watched, Spider-Man recently and all that kind of stuff, Charlie Cox, they have mentioned he's going to come back as Daredevil. He makes a small appearance in this as well. Very, very small cameo. But the big one is, of course, as you've already mentioned, Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Kingpin. At the end of Hawkeye, this is a bit of a spoilers, Echo shot Kingpin. And he survived. But she thought she had killed him, so did everybody else. But, anyways, he's back to get revenge on Echo, who is basically on the run for her life. Because everybody is out to get her because she just shot the Kingpin. And so she goes back to her home on the reservation in, I think it's in Oklahoma. And, there she reconnects with herself. She reconnects with her culture. And there's a lot of great, I don't think they're all Choctaw, but there's a lot of great Native American actors in this. This one guy, he's in everything. Let me find him real quick. Graham Greene. If you were to look up Graham Greene, he's been in everything. He's a Native American actor who, sadly, whenever anybody needs a Native American actor, they just go to Graham Greene. Yeah. Good for him. He's got a business, but that does also typecast him. But he's great in this. He plays Echo's, I want to say her uncle? Maybe? I don't know. Grandfather? Somewhere along there. But it's a really beautiful story of her reconnecting with everything, because after the events of Hawkeye, she's kind of at wit's end. She's been on a hell-bent revenge mission for her whole life, and now that she's gotten answers and all this stuff, she's kind of like, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? Do I become villainous? Do I become the queen pin, as she considers it in this? Does she, take over? Or is she a hero? Is she this anti-hero character that her family is trying to push her to be? And so it's a really beautiful story of her, figuring all that out. Great cast. But Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin coming back is really, like, I mean, Alaqua Cox, honestly, she doesn't utter a single word throughout the entire show, which is beautiful. There's a lot of good use of ASL. I really appreciated that.
There it is.
So...
Damn.
Damn.
On one hand, I'm all on board for ASL being the main language of the main character. That's super cool and interesting. And it's something I have been shouting into the void that I want for a Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah.
I know Link canonically talks. There's too many things, like in Skyward Sword, you can say nice hair to Groose. Yeah. It's the only time you ever are like, I never have to pick anything else. This is perfect. But I want Link to speak in ASL, and everyone around him learns it. Or Zelda's his translator or something.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm happy that there is some people in Hollywood willing to actually let Indigenous actors work in Indigenous roles. Unfortunately, I did see some bad news in the casting of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where, and I might be proven wrong on this, I'm not sure of this myself, but the guy playing Sokka...
Oh, I did hear about that too.
Right, I think Sokka's just a white guy.
Just like the other movie. Good work.
What do you mean, other movie?
Oh, yeah.
There's no other Avatar movie.
Right. You're right. I'm sorry. But that was the Mandela effect.
But this is where, you have so many people complaining about, well, why do they have to be Indigenous? It's first off, fuck you for asking the question. Second, it's an Indigenous story.
Yeah.
The culture and identity is intrinsic to the actual beats of the story. Their background, the culture they're raised in shapes their decisions. That's why you can blind cast Hamilton.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're far enough back historical figures, who gives a crap? It's also just a bunch of old white dudes.
Right. That wouldn't be fun. Everybody, yeah.
Right. It'd be the same crap we've seen all the time. But with the Water Tribe, they're Indigenous. They're Inuit. You should cast Indigenous people.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to see that they're like, yes, Echo is Indigenous. We got to make sure Echo is Indigenous. So that part's great. I'm actually really happy to hear that. Anything with Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin is just perfect to me.
Oh, yeah.
I admittedly did not get to see Hawkeye yet.
It's good. I enjoyed it.
And that's all I've heard as well.
Yeah. It's got a very beautiful LARPing scene.
Nice. That's already selling me enough as it is. But I always remember two scenes from Daredevil.
Yeah.
When we were watching it week to week. Vincent D'Onofrio is Kingpin slamming that dude's head with the car door.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll always remember that, because that is not I'm a bad man, I'm about to do a bad thing. It was, I'm so mad I don't know what to do, so my anger issues will just murder a person. Yes. And I'm like, that's a fucking villain.
Yeah.
And then all of the times he stares at the white painting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
I love everything. It's so upsetting to me, because I remember seeing him in Daredevil, and then less than a year later, I saw him in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And went,
I remember that too.
What the fuck?
Completely different person.
I want to weaponize the raptors.
Also,
God damn it.
Also, the cockroach farmer from Men in Black.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Men in Black.
Oh, my God. That was him.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, I guess that speaks to his range. Go him.
Yeah, he's
amazing.
Completely underrated.
So do you mash it then?
I mean, I think it goes without saying that I would mash Echo.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen Echo. I say that respectfully. But you mentioned using her prosthetics in the fight.
Yeah.
That sounds insane.
Sounds awesome.
There's
I
a
need
lot
to
of
see that.
Yeah. Now that you said you were gonna mash, I feel okay with gushing a bit. You get both, starting with Vincent D'Onofrio. You get both of those in this show. You get both the untempered rage and that contemplative, like, calmness.
Yes.
Like he does a great job because he's kind of manipulating Echo in a way to work for him. I won't spoil Hawkeye. There's a lot that goes into it, so it's very interesting. But yeah, when he gets mad, it's great. You get some really good rage scenes in Echo, and then Alaqua Cox is brilliant as well. Like the use of her prosthetics, like. There's so many scenes where she's like doing these crazy jumps and stuff, and then she'll hit somebody with the leg that's prosthetic, and you won't think about it at all because it's just kind of it's just a normal leg, but like you'll just hear that slight like metallic like boom, and it's just like it's just that use of that sound effect where it's just like. Yes, I remember now that, not only is she a badass, but she's a badass with a prosthetic leg. Like, the shit. And they also play with that, where it's like she has to get a crappy prosthetic leg halfway through because, like, her other one gets crushed. And so it's like, dealing with that because it's like it's a completely different feel. It hurts differently in regards to her. It hurts her leg differently. Right. But overall... The show itself is a bit of a letdown. It's I gave it 2.5 stars out of 5. It's because it seems purposeless. Like it is so good in regards to its casting, in regards to the cultural focus. And I am curious also. I don't know if the differing nations of Native Americans, if there's an issue with non-Choctaw Native Americans playing.
Choctaw.
Choctaw. I don't know if that's an actual issue. I don't know.
I think it would be pretty hard to cast. If
it would be, it really would be.
Yeah.
But
right,
I'm curious if that's upsetting to certain nations or not. But it just seems like despite all the good stuff, when I got to the end of it, and it's only 5 episodes, so it's really still an easy watch. I do recommend watching it. But it's just I got to the end of it and I was like, where are we going? What was the point of this show? And it really is, there's a mid-credit scene with the Kingpin. And when that happened, I was like, oh, the entire purpose of this show, as good as the focus on Native American culture and everything was, the entire focus was just to get that one line so that we know where we're going for Spider-Man and Daredevil and all those other New York superheroes. It's okay, the whole show was just so we can get this moment with Kingpin. It was kind of a letdown.
Well, I mean, Disney's felt kind of aimless for past couple years.
Yeah.
I will say this. I watched She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I loved She-Hulk.
I loved it, yeah.
I loved it so much.
Very underrated.
It does ruin the MCU just by She-Hulk's natural abilities.
Yeah.
The fact that She-Hulk is a meta character.
Right.
Yeah.
You couldn't have She-Hulk. You can't introduce Gwenpool because they know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You could either play with that. I think it could be really interesting.
Yeah.
But using Kingpin as the New York, the grounded villain.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
I think he's one of the best you could do. The only thing that you could throw in to zhuzh it up is Osborn's around.
Oh. Right, which will probably happen. Yeah, which is going to be a thing going forward with Spider-Man, I would assume. I will say that this isn't what the show really sets up, but what Kevin Feige has mentioned is that they are with Phase 5. They're planning on making the Kingpin, basically their street level Thanos is what they called him. And I'm like, Vincent D'Onofrio as street level Thanos. I'm like, it's gonna be fun.
I mean, he's
like, I want to see him in a movie.
He's just involved with so many different superheroes that it would. Yeah, and having him being constantly in the background, like even from, I know that the Charlie Cox series isn't technically canon anymore, but
right.
Damn.
Like even
it's in a different
way
universe.
Far back. Yeah. But they've been setting up Kingpin as this pretty like obviously he's a human being, but he's resourceful and intimidating, and he gets shit done and can be conniving and the build up really works that way. You know, he could be in control of New York. He could turn New York against the Avengers or something. That would be interesting.
That would be very cool. Like, the Kingpin has the resources to be like, I'm putting a bounty out.
Right. Yeah.
Whoever brings me the head of a superhero.
Like, they do something that, like, they mess up one of his operations or something. And, you know,
I'm making faces over here, but I'm not gonna say anything.
I know. I'm not baiting. I'm not being baited here, Green Traveler.
You should watch
I see your shit-eating grin.
I'm just saying that mid-credit scene.
Hell yeah!
But no, really, I do think you should watch it. It is just a bit of a disappointment when you get to the end, and it's just like, man, they really didn't go anywhere with Echo. You know, it's like she had some great moments, but it's like I don't feel like she has been set up for the future. You know, that was the sad thing. It's like it's her show. Set her up to be part of the big overall universe going forward. You know,
right. There's something to be said about giving a crap about the content you're putting out, and also trusting the content you're putting out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like they didn't trust the concept of Echo herself. They trusted Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the part that bugs me. Is it's like, yeah, we're gonna make sure we get the right representation. We're gonna do all of this, but on the other hand,
we gotta put asses in the seats.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
bummer.
We got 2 more to go. But me, I only got 1 more to go. I guess so does Greenie. But it's my turn. And here we go. I have 4 minutes. I want to talk to you about a man named Otto. And the man...
Octavius?
Ghost Otto?
No. Tom Hanks Otto.
Autobots?
Tom Hanks. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say there is a ghost in this movie, but it's not about that. So Tom Hanks plays Otto in this movie called A Man Called Otto that came out in 2022. And he's a pretty grumpy old man. It's the grumpiest I've ever seen Tom Hanks, that's for damn sure. And you know, he is really grumpy, and there is a good reason for it. It's kind of later in the movie, but you do find out that his wife passed away only 6 months ago. So him being, you know, grumpy makes sense. But he really cares about the nitpicky things in his neighborhood. And, you know, he goes around, he's yelling at everybody, and but they all, like, it's kind of weird because, like, I thought at first they were trying to say, like, society just ignores these people, because everybody he was yelling at was like, oh, okay, Mr. Otto, okay, and whatever. And what you find out is that not too long ago, he was looked at as a important person of the community, and these people actually respect him. So Otto has gotten to a pretty bad place, though, and he's ready to kill himself and join his wife. That is until he meets, oh boy, forget her name, Marisol, played by Mariana Trevino, and her husband Tommy, Manuel Garcia Rufo, and they are moving into the neighborhood, And while he is, it's really dark humor. While he is tying the noose that he plans to hang himself in the living room, he also put down newspaper and stuff so that he didn't make a mess or anything.
Very considerate.
Very considerate to whoever owns the house next. He sees from his living room window Tommy trying to park a trailer, and he's like, this fucking idiot. And he calls everybody an idiot. And he goes out there and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then he gets them to let him give it a try. And when he puts it in reverse, the car's like beeping, and he's like, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's the radar that I couldn't figure out how to turn it off with the trailer and everything. Why does a car need radar to back up? Anyhow, he then pulls the trailer forward and does it in one go, and Tommy's like, oh, he just did it at one try there. Okay. And so what it's about is him growing a relationship with Marisol mostly. She was pregnant at the time, and he becomes to their other kids their abuelo. And all that is very, very sweet. And eventually, though, he and Marisol get in a big fight. Okay, I guess that took 4 minutes.
The drama! The cliffhanger!
I will say this.
Yes.
It is originally called A Man Called Ove. And it is actually a Swedish story.
Okay.
Hence the dark humor.
Yeah.
Also, I've watched this.
Well, then mash or pass.
So it would have to be a mash.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I needed
but
it.
yeah, let me build a narrative.
Okay.
You want to climax so soon?
I'm just sorry. Go ahead.
Why would you look at me during?
You never go when we make love anymore. So, unfortunately for me, A Man Called Ove is in a long line of movies that have devastated me emotionally.
Yeah.
The loss I endured in 2020.
Yeah.
This movie, I can't escape dead loved ones. I can't escape this crap in movies.
Yeah.
And I watched it with my mom, of all people.
Ooh.
And, we were bawling.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure.
we were bawling because we knew his pain.
Right.
But we were bawling because of how good his story went.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. I love how this movie goes.
Yes. Just to know the sea of agony and loneliness of a movie character. Just to see it become better.
Yeah.
And this is something I try to teach my students, but the phrase, this too shall pass. It's one of the oldest phrases that I've ever heard, where it's like, even the depths of your sorrow will pass. Everything will get better.
Yeah.
But with Otto and his new reason for living, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
And his friend knows it, their family knows it, but he lives to be the best abuelo that family could ever have.
Yeah.
And I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about the movie.
And it's fucking Tom Hanks. He does a great job in it.
Yeah,
it's one of
I'm
his
sitting
best.
there going, why Tom?
I can't really think of one that I thought, man, his performance was better than this. This is he's
Cloud
so
Atlas.
Good. You think Cloud
Yeah,
Atlas? I mean, there's a lot of different characters in
Cloud
there.
Atlas was terrible.
What?
What are you talking about?
Get off the
Cloud
show.
Atlas is a
We're canceling the
masterpiece.
show.
No, the book is a masterpiece. The Wachowski siblings, they kind of effed it a bit, but it's fine.
Just a bit,
all
but
right.
I like it.
It's only
all right.
a slight effing.
It's alright, yeah.
Well,
I would
anyhow.
not. I think there's I would put this in the top 10 of Tom Hanks films, but I would say it's not in the top 5. I think there's many rules that he like fucking Castaway.
Story.
Like,
I mean, Castaway was good.
That
it was
Philadelphia
also product placement
like,
that moved me.
Yeah.
I guess
mean,
I haven't seen
acting.
every Tom Hanks movie. I haven't seen
That's
that more
totally fair.
recent war movie that he did. That he was supposedly very good in that. But
yeah, I thought it was funny too when
always-
he said it's like I haven't seen Tom Hanks grumpy. I was like, this man ain't seen Captain Phillips.
yeah,
I think we're not putting enough respect on Sheriff Woody's badge.
that's really funny.
Wait a minute.
in my boot?
Yeah.
Did you know that in the second one it was his brother?
Did you? Anytime you hear Woody's voice, and it's not explicitly sold as Tom Hanks, it's his goddamn brother.
It's his goddamn
my
brother.
God.
Yeah.
All the toys, Kingdom Hearts, it's all his brother.
That's so crazy. That's awesome.
And I heard that anytime Tom like gets offered a job for voice acting and he's too busy for it, he says, "Hey, just call my brother."
Is his name Ross?
I don't
Ross
know.
Shanks.
So, Raw Shanks. But, God damn it, you made me think about Kingdom Hearts. And by you, I mean me. Nerd. And so all I remember is Sheriff Woody talking down a time-traveling evildoer.
Yeah.
Just ripping him a new one. Going, you know what, buddy? I don't think you know what friendship is.
That's about as far as I got in the game. It was such a bad game.
I got to the last boss.
Oh man.
I could beat him.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
I heard how it ends,
Yeah.
and I don't want it to be on my PlayStation data.
That's fair. I never played it. I just stopped caring after a while.
20 years.
I had asked. Parents still ask me for things to get me on my birthday and Christmas. It's
Their
nice.
kids back. Parents still ask me for things.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
I'm so sorry. I think you're gonna say that your
talking-
parents got you Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, they got me.
Whatever.
Yeah, I had asked for Kingdom Hearts 3 before I heard Ken's honest opinion of it, and Ken was the
was that
only
Ken
other
fella.
hardcore fan that I knew personally. So,
Yeah. Professor Ronvald, do you know Ken?
oh yeah, Professor Ronvald
Yeah.
also likes Kingdom
You know
Hearts
what?
and was also telling me how bad it was.
I will say, whoever this guy you keep bringing up, he sounds devilishly handsome.
He is a very handsome fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not at all full of himself.
No, he's one of my bears.
Well, I give A Man Called Otto a face and a half. If I haven't said, it was
Hell yeah.
it was really good.
Absolutely
I was
good.
afraid I wasn't gonna like it. Like, so we were just looking for something to watch while we played Civ, actually, and we just popped it on, and then just got really drawn into it. Like, at first I was like, if this is gonna be all about him killing himself, I'm not gonna be happy with that. But it just evolved into a very great thing, and I love this movie. It's good.
Hell yeah.
Meanwhile, Gandhi's got his finger on the trigger, and you guys are like, I hope Otto's okay.
It's okay. Oh, all right. One more for the Green Traveler, and that will be. Then this will decide the winner. Well, actually, this will see if we tie. If you get this mash, then you win. All right. I turned it the wrong
Let's
way.
do this.
You
Give
have
me an hour.
4 minutes.
Alrighty then. I'm going to talk to you. It's a little bit of an older film, about a month old. It is Poor Things. It's currently, it's just been nominated for like 11 or whatever. Like, it got a lot of awards and everything. And the Oscars just announced their shit, and they got nominated for Best Picture and,
Oh, wow.
and Best Actor for Emma Stone, all that beautiful stuff. Yorgos Lanthimos is the director. He did The Favorite, The Lobster. The Favorite is one of my, I love that movie. It's Olivia Colman. I think Emma Stone as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Emma Stone here plays this Frankenstein's monster-like character. The woman she was prior to being Frankenstein's monster, who knows? We'll find out in the movie. But at the beginning, she is just a corpse that Willem Dafoe, who she calls her God, I believe his real name is Godwin Baxter. Interesting. He found her dead body in the off on the river, and he used it to create his own thing. She was pregnant at the time, so he took the brain of the baby and put it in the mother, and thus was born this new character, Bella Baxter, played by Emma Stone. This crazy little Frankenstein monster. You watch her basically learn to walk, learn language. She explores, her sexual awakening. And she eventually is just like, I need to break free from, my God. She does not explore her sexual awakening with her God, by the way. Okay. Willem Dafoe is much more of a father figure in this, and he's a great father figure because when she's like, I want to go and explore the world, even though Willem Dafoe, Godwin, is very much like, I don't know if you're ready. You're still very young in mind and young at heart and everything. He's like, I think you might need to grow up a little more. He still doesn't stop her. He lets her go and explore. She runs off with Mark Ruffalo, who plays Duncan Wedderburn, who is this just whimsical man. He's ridiculous.
Just seems so.
It's hilarious
to me.
it's pretty strange, and it's kind of strange to Bella as she starts to know herself more, as she starts to grow up and mature. She starts to realize, I don't think this Duncan guy is really right for me. I think he's kind of a sleazebag. He's kind of a dick, and she wants to break free of that. And then she starts to explore philosophy through characters like Harry Astley, played by Jared Carmichael. And it's just wonderful. It's this beautiful exploration of character. It's a very much a Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster story. But there's a lot more focus on sexual awakening, and there's a lot of sex in this movie too. I don't know if that entices you, but there is a lot of it. And it gets a little bit uncomfortable, I will admit, if you watch it like I did with some close friends. We were in the theaters, it's like, oh my, I was not expecting this much penis and boobies. But it's there.
I wasn't expecting the sex to be so Ruffalo.
And you do get a lot of Ruffalo being Ruffalo, and it's wonderful.
Well, that's it.
I'll end it there.
That was a good ending.
So... God, Emma Stone is such a delight.
Yeah,
beautiful actor.
Mark Ruffalo, I've been a fan of his for decades at this point.
Yes,
and Willem Dafoe needs more work. I know he's already in a bunch of stuff, but I need Willem Dafoe to be doing more stuff.
Right. So he's in he's in the most obscure things.
I think it's just that's what he wants now.
Yeah.
Is he just wants the weird stuff.
He can take these big roles. He doesn't need to be the Joker, even though everybody wants him to be the Joker, and he would be an amazing Joker. He doesn't need to be the Joker.
Bring him back again to do the Green Goblin, but do it, better than what they did in that Spider-Man movie. It was fun.
Yeah.
But I want better.
It was fun.
I think in Spider-Man 3, it was actually the best Green Goblin. Where it was just the insanity of the man and not this high-tech suit crap.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man 3 in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3, or...
No Way Home. Because Sam Raimi 3 is not the Green Goblin, it's the Hobgoblin.
Oh, that's very fair.
It was the new Goblin.
Yeah.
The new Goblin.
Yeah, it's Hobgoblin's isn't that usually James?
No. The Hobgoblin's a completely different character.
It don't matter. I don't think they all knew who. They didn't even know who the character was. That's all right.
I believe the Hobgoblin, his first name is Jason. I'm not sure what his last name is. But I believe he, after the death of the Green Goblin, the first time he died, he found the bombs in the glider and took
Hobgoblin,
them.
Marvel. Aliases. Ned Leeds. Roderick Kinsley.
Exactly what I said,
Lefty
Ned.
Donovan. You said Jason. Jason McIndale.
Nice.
Robin Bourne. Harry Osborn.
All right. Well, in the versions that I'm more familiar with, Harry's character has been the New Goblin.
There's also Phil Urich and Claude.
Just Claude.
Claude. It's just Claude. Well, so do you mash on Poor Things then? With the love of Willem Dafoe and Emma Stone.
I want to derail this 3 more times before
That's fair. That's totally fair. Please do.
No, it's interesting to see. I've seen 15-second ads for Poor Things, and immediately thought it was hilarious because it's just Emma's character looking dejected to go, all right, I know we're destitute. And I feel like it's my fault. Just pans over to Mark, and he's just like, just shut up.
One of my favorite moments, I will say, in the movie is there's I guess I shouldn't say it until I figure out what your thing is, but anyways, I'm already here. There's a moment of silence when they're all eating a meal, and there's just a baby crying, and then Emma Stone is like, I'm gonna go punch that baby. And then she just stands up and walks away.
It's like, no, wait, where are you going?
I did not expect that,
baby.
that's for sure.
It's so funny.
All right, Cam, tell us how you feel.
Will. It's gotta be a mash.
Yes.
It's definitely a mash.
Oh, well,
I
thanks
win.
for coming on the show and making me a loser.
No.
Listen, Faceless Leon, I would still watch Ernest Becomes Dead and haunt somebody.
We have a ghost.
Jim Varney.
Oh, we have a ghost is what it's called.
But I think that does mean the Green Traveler's the winner.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does mean
And
that.
I wasn't lying about Poor Things. It's very good. I really enjoyed it a lot. In fact, it would probably be in my top 5 of last year if I were to redo that list. Sadly, I watched it outside of the year, so my OCD says it doesn't matter.
And you know what? Green Traveler?
Yeah.
Don't you ever fucking emotionally manipulate me again.
I
How
will.
dare you?
I will. And I also owe you Chinese. But
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that, Faceless. You didn't hear that. But no, I would give it 4.5 stars out of 5. Like, it was very fun. The cinematography from Robbie Ryan is beautiful. Like, and the set design. Like, the set design is crazy good. Like, I loved everything. It felt like it has it's kind of like watching it's not at all like watching a Wes Anderson movie, but it's like that, where it's like there's so much focus to the set design that you cannot help but appreciate it as you're watching it, because it's like, there's this moment where you see a ship at sea, and it's just like, it looks so cinematic and beautiful, and it's like, it's very clearly like a fake set and everything, but like, you're just watching, and you're just like, wow, like you're thinking about how they made it. I mean, if you're like me, you're thinking about how they made it and how beautiful it is, and it's like, it's incredible.
I can't help not.
Yeah,
that it's my work, so I just
exactly
that's what my mind says.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's also a show of appreciation, in my opinion, like, because it's like, I'm so astonished by this movie. It was really beautiful. It does have issues. It is very very over sexualized. Like, there is so much sex, you guys. Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
it's not,
and you know, that could be a good thing
for some reason.
I mean, exactly. That is a selling point. But for me, you know, it's like I don't have as much testosterone as you two. There are moments in the film where I'm just like, oh my God, we're having sex again. Like, this is like the 7th time in 5 minutes. Like, come on, guys. Like, there's a lot. And, you know, but it's like, at the same time, I will applaud it for one thing specifically, which is, in my opinion, if you're going to have nudity in your film, it needs to be, you know, inclusive. I want to see a penis. If I'm going to see boobs, I want to see a penis. And this film shows penis.
Good.
You get some penis. So thank you for that, Yorgos. You succeeded there. And then the other, what was the other thing I was going to say? There was another issue. I noticed one thing is that I only think there were 2 black roles in this film. And there's like a pretty big cast. And like, you know, after a while I was just like, I'm only noticing that there's one black guy, and that's the guy that kind of teaches her philosophy, Harry Astley, played by Jared Carmichael again. And that's great. That is, you know, he's like, he did a great job. But, you know, talking about inclusivity of like the other films that we were talking about, this one I was just like, I don't know, the cast could have been way more diverse.
It also doesn't sound like it's necessarily based in a specific time or place.
No.
So
it kind of feels like London-y.
Yeah.
But and actually the film is dedicated to where she's at. So it's like there are you know, like chapter headings for each location that she goes to, and that like sets off the next era of the film, the next chapter of her life. But it definitely felt like that, you know, that
it's very fanciful,
Frankenstein-y like. London area.
Gotcha. Where he never goes.
I don't know if he was in London.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
Wherever he's at.
There's a lot of fog and people go, hello.
Hello. Governor.
I'm pretty sure it was
you my
around
money?
Geneva, that like in that area that Frankenstein was based.
That sounds right.
Like, I think the Alps were included.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I remember Geneva.
This also sounds like Frankenstein if the doctor had a spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he does just run away in the book. He's just like, oh my God. What did I do?
And
the eye color's wrong.
And if you haven't seen it, also like look up the practical, like the facial makeup and everything they did for Willem Dafoe's character. Like his character looks great. Like the design of this movie is beautiful. But like he looks great because he's got like a big old chin and like there's a crease down his face from like past scar. You know, it's a scar, of course, but it's just like you find out that there's a lot of experiments his dad did on him that, you know, kind of inspired his scientific mind, but at the same time closed off a lot of the emotional side of this. Yeah, it's traumatizing, and he's learning through Bella as well as everybody else. So it's beautiful. I love this film. It was great.
Well, I think that's the show. Yeah, The Green Traveler from Gorsh is the first winner of Bangers and Hash Season 2. We thank you so much for joining us, Ronvald the Scald. I got one more question for you. What have you been watching recently?
So what have I been watching?
Yeah, you just pick one show.
You know what? Could I pick one movie that
course.
I would talk about until the heat death of the universe?
No!
Godzilla -1.
Yes! Yes!
We haven't watched. I haven't watched it. We haven't watched it for the show or anything. But the Green Traveler has told me about it.
This is my second favorite movie of last year.
It's my number one. It's absolutely my number one.
Spider-Man Across the Universe beat it out, but
it's not. Spider-Verse got to number 2 for me because the story's not over yet.
Yes, exactly.
But it's still a masterpiece. It's still it's literally the best work in animation right now.
Amen.
But Godzilla -1 was everything I needed a movie to be. Faceless, when I tell you this is the best Godzilla movie that's ever been made.
That's what the Greenie said.
It is also... Because, to me, the best Godzilla movies are about something.
Sure.
Yes.
And a lot of the Godzilla movies are about, what if a radioactive dog kicked the lizard? And you're like, all right, that sounds real dumb. I'm going to watch the fuck out of it, though.
Put him in a rubber suit. Put him in a rubber suit.
Right. Shin Godzilla was about bureaucracy failing Japan in a time of crisis.
And the designs of Godzilla were beautiful in that one.
Oh my god, they were terrifying.
Yeah.
That's the thing. For years, I thought that's the scariest Godzilla could be. Until Godzilla -1. Where I think we actually have kind of a smaller Godzilla.
Okay.
Bit. Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's as big as Shin.
No.
He's definitely not as big as the legendary one.
He's very much like a buffer skyscraper in this. Which
there
is
we
like,
go.
you know, it's still like,
Thicker.
you know, it's still very tall, but it's not.
He's thick.
Yeah, he's not towering.
Gotcha.
But there's and Godzilla -1, if I were to say what it is about forgiveness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And hope.
And hope. And genuine. Still the scariest Godzilla movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. Did I tell you, Ron Wald, sorry, that in Oppenheimer, you know, Chris Nolan spent millions to make this beautiful atomic explosion, the bomb, and it looked beautiful on screen. It was very awe-inspiring, where I was like, whoa, that was cool. And then you get Godzilla's atomic breath and Godzilla -1, and I feel like Christopher Nolan had to watch that and be like, how much did he spend on that? $1 million? Fuck! Because it was so good. The atomic breath was so good.
It is a sense of devastation and scale, and Godzilla has no personality in this. They're a force of nature. But I will say this. He really hates one dude's happiness. He really hates this guy feeling good. But genuinely, the movie has tell don't show about the identity of our main hero, and that is, so we come to the real heart of the movie is the main character.
Right.
And I could barely ever say that about any human in a Godzilla movie.
Right.
I slept through most of Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Oh, no.
I would wake up to monster fights going, this
Hell
movie's
yeah.
amazing.
Hell yeah.
And then I'd fall asleep during all the human parts.
Have you seen the trailer
when
for the next one?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
Well,
Monkey and lizard fight other monkey.
Dude, my favorite part of the
It's gonna
trailer
be
is
dumb
when
as-
Godzilla and Kong are running together. Like when they're that is golden cinema. I'm so excited. I
it's
can't
like-
wait.
I know you all want the Avengers. Stop it.
stop it. Yeah, it's
The
Monarch
best we can do is
Avengers, yeah, for
Godzilla
sure.
and Kong.
Right, because they're going to be like, we got to bring in Anguirus. Anguirus is going to be their buddy. They're going to be like the Captain America.
Well, all right.
gonna be
We're going to
beautiful,
wrap it
man.
up here. Thank you so much again, Ron Wald. Thanks for the recommendation. It's been recommended to me before, so I'm going to check it out.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for Ron Wald again. They have been the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And you have been the Faceless Leone.
Safe travels and good riddance.
Where's my money?
It's in the mail. I told you. It's in the mail.
All right.